Hi guys, this is Anthony Lonigan here in Ireland. I'll just give you a little bit of information. Now, first of all, I'm not a mechanic, okay, but I like to do most things myself. As I said, I do everything in learning process. Okay, I hope you can hear me okay. Now, what I'm going to talk to you about now is the Citroen C4 Picasso Grand Picasso 08. Now, I had a good bit of trouble with this car. First of all, the handbrake got stuck, and I was losing water outside. I had no air coming out of the vents, and I have to do the regulator on the windows. But anyway, first of all, the handbrake. I was watching YouTube videos, and they were all saying the lever on the dash, the ordinary pull-out lever on the dash. I'll see can I show it to you. Lad. Voilà. Okay. Or there was one under the glove box. A little sensor under the glove box with a lead on it. And I was saying to myself, I have no tools for searching for those things. So I was asking the question like, how do you know which one it is? And I wasn't getting any answers. So like, is it a take of a gamble, change the top one or change the bottom one or change both? So first of all, my back brake was rubbing. So I decided I'd change all the brakes, all the brake pads. So I went around and I changed them all. I came in and I said, maybe that'll do the job for me. So when I went to pull off the handbrake on, the car wouldn't go. So I had to manually turn the handbrake off. And how I done that was I put my foot on the brake. At the same time, I pulled the handbrake at the top of the dash, the handbrake lever at the top of the dash. Okay? That worked for me. But the auto brake parking light was staying on. Not the big P at the top. There's one, when you turn on the dash, it's underneath that. And I says, will I change that or change that? So I tell you what I decided. I decided, you know what, I'll take the live off the battery. And I went down and it was talking to my neighbour for about 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. And I said, maybe it'll reset itself. So when I done that, I get back up to the car. I put the lead back on the battery, started up the car, and I manually put my foot on the brake and pulled out the lever. And I went for a drive in the car. Now I went about 2 miles and the parking light reset itself. No change in anything. The parking light reset itself. The only thing I had to do with the car was the radio stations were all the same. They're in the same place and everything. All I had to do was change the time and date on the clock. That's it. And it works perfect for me now. The other problem I had was I had no air from the vents. And it was absolutely none. I turned it up full blast and nothing was coming over. And like, the car was cold. And I seemed to be losing water at the bottle outside. So I decided then I'd check the filter that's under the dash. Now I'm driving a right-hand drive car, so it was under the dash at the clutch pedal, and I pulled out the two filters, which were blocked solid. They mustn't have been changed since 2008. So I turned on the fan I didn't put any new filters yet. I turned on the fan and it'd blow you out of it. But I was still not getting any hot air, and I was still losing water outside. And the water wasn't mixing with the oil, or the oil wasn't mixing with the water. But I couldn't see where the problem was until tonight, until I was doing the brake. And I left the car ticking over, and I decided, I filled it up with water, and I decided I went inside and I was having a cup of tea, left the car ticking over, and I said I'd go out now and I'd bleed it. So underneath the bonnet, I'm going to show you another video of where everything is in the car, okay? Under the bonnet, I noticed a little bubble on the hose between the radiator and the bottle at the radiator. And when the pressure came on in the water, it started to squirt. So I changed that pipe. Then I noticed that the bleeding screw, when I tightened it as tight as I could by hand, I was watching it and I was letting the pressure build up in the car, and there was still little bubbles coming out from the end of it. Now, I hadn't got another bleeder cap for it. So what I done was I put a vice grips on the tip of it gently now, and I gave it a little extra turn. And now the heat is flying in the car. Everything is working. I'll know tomorrow if I lost any water, but I don't think I did. Everything seems to be working brilliant in the car now. I have to put the filters back in, the ones I was telling you about. I'm going to show you everything in the next video, because I don't know how to change the camera around on the phone. But it is a 2008 Citroen Grand Picasso, and it was just a simple little thing like take the lead off the battery just to check first, see would it reset itself for the handbrake. And it was worth doing because it did work. And that saved me buying any sensors, going through the hardship of checking the one at the dash and checking the one underneath. If it didn't work, yeah, I was going to have to do something like that. But it did work for me. And it might work for you. So I just said I'd give you all a shout, and I hope you like and subscribe. And as I said to you, I'm not a mechanic, but I like doing things for myself. I suffer with chronic back pain, and it deprives me from doing a lot of things. But when I'm able to do something, I like to do it myself. I get more joy out of it, figuring out stuff, than anything else. It makes me more happier. And it's the same with the clocks, and the same with the antiques, and all little things I do with hoovers and stuff like that. Microwaves, like I like doing things myself. It's kind of continuously learning, because as I said, I left school when I was 13. So, hey. Anyway, I'm going to do a video, and I'm just going to point out all the things for you. And please subscribe, please, because I can't do live videos until I have so many subscribers. I don't know why, but what can I do? I'm going to do them videos for you now in a few minutes. And I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. And I really hope this helps. Now, this might actually work on the Peugeots as well, and a few other cars, not just the Citroen. So it's worth trying. You can't lose, like. So if your your brakes lock up on you, all you have to do is put your foot on the brake, turn on your ignition, don't start up the car, turn on your ignition, put your foot on the brake and pull the lever at the same time. And hold it for about 2 seconds, let go of the lever, and it should automatically turn off your handbrake so you can drive. And you can drive on and put on your handbrake normal and knock it off that way. But by doing the hard reset, by taking the live off the battery, leave it off for a while, and go back to it, put it back on, manually knock your handbrake off, go for a drive, maybe a mile, could be less. It didn't register with me at the time just to watch it. I was listening to the radio at the same time. And when I turned around and seen then the light was gone out, it reset itself. So I hope it works for you. And I'm going to point out where everything is in the car to you. Now, I'm not going to take panels off or anything like that, but I'm just giving you a rough idea where everything is and where I had the problems. And I really hope you subscribe to me, because I need subscribers badly so I can do live videos. Please. Thank you very much. This is Anthony from Ireland, in the Midlands of Ireland. And a big hi to you all.